Huh. Welcome back, Nicholas. Just Comic Corner Classics less known classics. This is episode number 1209 and Doubleshot number 1103. I have one Marvel trade, one DC trade. This Marvel trade is a mini series. Yes, it's a mini series that, believe it or not, was actually set up in the pages of that two mini series that Jonathan Hickman did, Powers of X and House of X. This is X-Men plus Fantastic Four. Yes, a 4-issue miniseries written by Chip Zdarsky. Yes, not the first series I've actually read, well, at least reviewed, where it's written by him. I've also reviewed Howard the Duck, his one for Star-Lord, and Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man. All really good books. Does this book keep the same flavor that Chip Zdarsky basically is known for? Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, the whole plot of the series is that the X-Fantastic Four are fighting over Franklin Richards. Yep. And of course, Sue Storm takes it kind of wrong, in a way, because she's very protective of her children. Now, she was also like this during James Robinson's run for Fantastic Four, where she got so upset over the fact that not only they took away her kids, which she didn't like that at all, they also took away her home, which she hated that so much. So I like the fact Zdarsky still keeps her like that. So we also somehow Doctor Doom gets involved in all of this, and basically Reed and Sue assume that he may have been involved with what was going on with Franklin. He's like, no, I would never harm Franklin. They're like my own children. I would never harm them at all. He'd probably harm you two, but not the kids. He's nothing against the kids at all. I'll talk more about that when I talk about Fantastic Four. And in the end, basically, Franklin agrees to go to Kuroda to live there. Yeah, he's a mutant, and though Charles does pay a small visit with him and Magneto, well, back to the Richards home. Yeah, the Fantastic Four are headquartered out of a house now. Yes, a house. Instead of a skyscraper like they have been for decades. Yeah, there's a reason for that. The reason why they're headquartered in this house instead of their own home, the Baxter Building, because they already have a team there. Fantastic X. I'll discuss more about that when I discuss Fantastic Four trades. Now, despite the conflict, they do agree that Franklin can have his powers stabilized, and Franklin goes with Kitty of his own free will. He's not forced to go to Kuroda. He just basically goes there because he feels as though his powers basically will be able to be, let's just say, basically able to train to use them properly. Yes, Franklin Richards in the 90s was responsible for the Heroes Reborn stuff. In story, he was responsible for that, creating that pocket universe. And Charles Xavier just wants to train him to basically use his powers properly. Reed Richards wants to suppress his power, which that mostly is true when it comes to Reed Richards. He created a device to suppress or at least cut off the mutant gene. Charles Xavier is actually upset with this, so he pretty much used his powers to take away Reed Richards' ability not only to create the device, but also to make it, not only basically repair it, even create it, and they also destroyed the device as well. Yep, Charles Xavier, from what I can tell, was completely justified in doing that. Now, he and Reed basically may not get along with each other much anymore, but even I personally agree. Creating that device was utterly stupid, because that is basically stereotypical bigotry against people who are mutants, trying to take away their powers. And so basically, with Franklin living at the Kuroda, the living island, he's doing perfectly fine. He's able to visit his family anytime he wants to. He's not being held against his will. He's immune, so he has to live there. But he's able to visit his parents, no problem. Though, that begs the question, what about Valerie? She's not a mutant. She's a genius per se, but she's not a mutant. Which, she does call bullcrap on that. But she's able to come there anytime she wants to. Charles Xavier has nothing against her visiting her brother. Yeah. Also, and here's something interesting, though, if you can tell about the cover. Yeah, the Dotsons do the interiors. Yes. Up until, last couple years, Like, the Dotsons had pretty much stopped doing interiors for years. Unknown why they decided to stop, and all of a sudden now they're starting up again. I don't know why, but this all in all was really good. Fun miniseries. Gave this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Now, the Dotsons do have history drawing the X-Men, so great choice drawing it. As for Fantastic Four, as far as I can tell, I don't think they've ever drawn a Fantastic Four book before. But as for Sardesky, definitely a good choice. Like, a man basically is known for doing like humor and making it a little bit serious. Fun book overall, and thoroughly enjoyable. And I like the fact this was actually something that was set up in a mini-series. Yeah, that was one of the many plot threads they set up in the Powers of X House X mini-series. Yeah, this was set up as part of a basically throwaway line that Charles gave, I think it was Charles, when he was talking to Reed about Franklin, because he's a mega-class mutant. And I like the fact there was a debate in this book about it, which was really nice. And Sardesky himself did a fantastic job with this miniseries. Though, in case you're curious, though, NASA's review this. What else is left to review from Chip Sardesky? Off the top of my head, probably his Daredevil run, which I'm thoroughly enjoying that. Alright, so, going from one really good writer to another really good writer. This is from a book writer which a lot of people are not really big fans of some of the stuff he did for Superman over at DC. But I've never heard anybody complain about this. Nope, I've heard zero complaints about this. This is Legion of Superheroes, Volume 1, Millennium. This collects the 2-issue miniseries of Legion of Superheroes Millennium, which basically helps set up the new status quo for the Legion of Superheroes. Also collects the first issues of the current volume for the series. Yes, Bendis is the writer, but he's got a lot of really good artists on here. Yeah, he's got Ryan Snook, Wade Von Gritter, Travis Moore, Mikel Jen, Jim Lee, Scott Kowalski, Dustin McGibbon, Andrea Sorrento, Andre Lemaker Edrio, Nicola Scott, Jim Chilling, Jeff Deco, Scott Williams, Ivan Reyes, and Joe Perito. The cover art is done by Ryan Snook. Now, this is technically, from what I can tell, sort of a rebooted version of the Legion of Superheroes, mostly anyways, except there's alterations. For one thing, the guy who basically was the Legion's benefactor, R.J. Brandel, is now a woman. Yep, R.J. Brandel's a woman, and she's the president. Yep. I didn't have a problem with that. I did have a slight problem changing Lightning Lad. Now, in all previous versions of Lightning Lad, he's always picked as someone who's white, even his sister. For some strange reason, I have no idea why in the world that Bendis, whoever the colorist was, they did this for Lightning Lad. Yeah. Let's see if I can find him here. They made him freaking black. Yes. No idea why, but they did. Yeah. This guy here. See a guy wearing that lightning suit? Yes, that apparently is Lightning Lad. Which you're probably asking, wait, that can't be Lightning Lad. Well, according to this book, that is Lightning Lad. Aside from that, a lot of the other characters look pretty much the same. Shadow Girl actually got updated look for her costume. I don't mind the new costumes. Those are fine. At least you can tell. Mon-El's, still the same character. They give him an update because, of course, they give an update. It's interesting, though, that the previous time Legion superheroes were featured in a comic book, that they pretty much wearing the regular outfits they've been wearing since the 60s. And my guess is Bendis must look us up and say, I like it, but let's have a slight alteration to the Legion superheroes. Now, there are two prime focus characters of this series. Now, are the regular Legion characters the prime focus of the series? Not really, no. Not even Brainiac 5 is a focus. The prime focus of this ongoing series is, of course, two characters. One, of course, being John Kent, a.k.a. Superboy, the son of Superman and Lois Lane. Yep. Along with an old Flash villain by the name of Rose and Thorn. Yep. Gotta love Jim Lee's artwork. Yep. Yeah, these two are the prime focus characters. And apparently, somehow, she was still alive by the future. It's not really explained at all. Now, in case you're curious about the cover of why it looks like that, that was also the cover they used for Millennium #1. Now, initially, I thought it was just going to be a miniseries, just Legion vs. Millennium. They wanted to do much with it, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, we got a miniseries out of it. Awesome. And it's like the whole storyline is just basically John Kent basically toward orientation to the Legion of Heroes. Him using the same standards he used 21st century, like a big barbarian who just happened to be Ultra Boy's father, which that's a bit different. Because and here's the thing about one character, Wildfire. Now, in case you're curious, the Wildfire was not there when the Legion was first founded back in the 60s. No, he was something that Jerry Conway did back in the 70s. Yeah, it was actually in the late 70s when he was out of the team. He's kind of like one of Legion's powerhouses. I like the fact that Bendis keeps something that a lot of volumes basically for Legion Heroes doing. Having the land be freaking huge. Yes, they're called Legion for a reason, and I like the fact that not only the group is huge, but also the fact that they also have the Legionary rings. There is one slight problem with this. Apparently, in this version of the future, oh yeah, and also I thought this was really cool about this. R.J. Brandel, he was giving a backstory on the history of DC Universe. They apparently are using old images. Yeah. Which, I saw this, I'm like, what? I'm like, that is so cool. The fact that the artist for this series managed to dig up these old images. Basically, when R.J. Brandon was talking to, I think it's supposed to be the Parliament? Yeah. By the way, this woman here, this is R.J. Brandel. Yes. This pink-skinned alien with pointy ears, that's R.J. Brandel. Now, those of you who've seen pictures of R.J. Brandel, like, wait, that can't be R.J. Brandel. And R.J. Brandel, even though he's a shapeshifter, he's mostly a guy. Yes, that's another thing they changed about this. I mean, that was one thing that, when it comes to Legion, that's mostly been the same, mostly, as one of the other things. Brainiac 5, well, aside from the fact he's got a slight different attire, he's mostly the same. Also, Chupaca Girl's got visors now. No idea why she's got a visor on her face, but she does. Yep, she does. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, here we go. When she's talking about the leads, when you talk about history of the DC Universe, she shows an image of the Justice League. Now, those of you fans of the Grant Morrison Justice League from the late 90s, you would appreciate this. Look at this. This is, oh my gosh. When I saw this again, I'm like, wait, that's the Grant Morrison image of the Justice League. And then we have the Marv Wolf and George Perez Teen Titans lineup. I'm like, what? Okay, that is so cool. I love the fact Bendis brought up that. That apparently it's implied that the Grant Morrison JLA run is canon, according to Bendis. Okay, fine. Yes, there's even at one point in this storyline where John Kent brings in his best friend Damian Wayne, aka Robin, and he says the reason for this is there's no one Bat theme part of this group, which that's true. As far as I can tell, that has never been explained. So Saturday Girl's prerogative is to knock him out, wipe out his memory of this time in the future, and send him back to the past. Okay, and he easily points out a plot hole with this. He says, it's okay for me to be here, but not him? How does that make any sense? I like the fact Bendis pointed that out. Because that is one thing about a Legion that's never been explained. Yeah, why is it okay for Superman, or at least Superboy part of this group, but not Robin? Yes, I am so happy they addressed that, because they think that he's not supposed to be here, and they're like, what about me? Well, basically, I even like the fact that in the Millennium miniseries, they actually brought up the fact that, well, they had Legion appear at the day of the founding of the United Alliance of Planets, Life Federation of Planets, which, that was cool, the fact that Bendis basically threw that flashback in there, and also having Superboy being offered to join the Legion of Superheroes, which is awesome. This book is just amazing. fantastic artwork and great storytelling on the part of Bendis. I like the fact that he keep a lot of stuff people like about lead superheroes in here. Well, aside from the fact they keep a lot of like familiar elements. The only major problem I have with this book is Lightning Lad's skin color change. Yes, this by far was dumb. I'm not sure. Heck, they even changed his skin color for Sister Witch. Okay, fine. We got changed skin color for Lightning Lad. Changed for her as well. But why the heck did you change him to freaking black? What's okay? If you want to update his costume, fine. Why change his skin color? I don't know why Bendis. I don't know if this was Bendis' idea or his editor thought this was a good idea. Hey, we're gonna update the Legion superheroes. Give them all shiny new costumes designed by Jim Lee, which none of them got collars, thank God, because that was really silly. But whose priority was it to make Lightning Lad black? That was so dumb. Aside from that, great book. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic book. Can't wait for the next book. Yeah, Legion of Superheroes. Unlike in the case of Superman and Action Comics, which get mixedly received, or some don't like the book, this book should be talked about. This book is so good. And it's a good thing Bendis basically is good at writing a lot of heroes like this. Now, not the first group book that he's doing. Oh no. Of course, he's also doing Young Justice as well. Though, you can kind of say this is him writing the Justice League in a way, because the Legion of Superheroes is similar to Justice League. They even talk about that in here, which is amazing. Yeah, though I think that possibly Bendis had the fact that maybe John Kent and Rose might become either good friends or they become a couple. It's possible to say the least. But at least this is the reason why that he's not in the Superman book, because he's in the future. Yep. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next several reviews. I got 3 more comic corners to do. Yes, all digital, along with a review for One Piece, My Hero, and Boruto today. Basically, 6 more videos. I'm going to do 1 more, and then I'll take a break for a bit, and I'll do 2 more after that, and I'll do my One Piece one, okay? See you next video. Bye.